So to start off this course, I wanted to look at the actual map by Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine, and from what I could tell, there's about 55,299 active cases. In terms of those who have not recovered, you're looking at around 60,019. And the reason I got 55,299 is because once you include deaths, then you have your actual number of active cases with the coronavirus. I remember like a few months ago was around 400 and something, and basically it was more of a threat in China, so this is a good indicator of how diseases or viruses or certain illnesses end up spreading. So in terms of how you actually look at the numbers, these are actual like confirmed cases. So those are the numbers that people need to be more concerned about, and you can actually see like the different daily cases. So you could see a peak on February 13th and February 14th. So the day prior to Valentine's Day, and the day that's actually Valentine's Day is where you see peaks for new confirmed, which actually makes sense. And then you do have a slight peak on March 11th, and you have some of these small peaks right now. So in terms of the logarithmic scale, you could see like how many are in other cases versus mainland China, and then the actual scale of total recovered. So the total recovered scale is actually growing actual, so you could actually look at this. Something that's quite interesting is not even just the U.S. data, because Michigan recently just received like 2 new cases just the past few days prior, but you could see like almost immediately like when there are new cases, this is the start of like a state panic in reaction to that. You could see Idaho seems to not have reached any cases thus far, from what I understand from this map. Here we could actually look at some more problematic areas. Egypt, you could actually see 67. I believe like a week or so ago it was 16, and then even prior to that it was like none. So it's quite interesting to look at that. In terms of the 67, there are 39 active. You could see recovered was 27, and there was unfortunately 1 death. Egypt obviously is going to be more population diverse, and then lots of countries in North Africa, and then you're looking at places like South Africa, which is more population diverse, and there are only 17 cases in South Africa. Around Mali, like right next to it, you see at the Burkina Faso, you have 2 confirmed cases which are currently active. Mali, there doesn't really seem to be any cases. Algeria, you could see 24 confirmed cases, 1 death, 8 recovered, 15 active. Here in Europe, it's actually pretty bad because Europe is very diverse at traveling. So Italy is actually one of the worst. That's why a state of emergency was confirmed in Italy. So Italy is not that population diverse compared to China, so it's actually like very critical in terms of like Italy was hit big, and part of that is the whole travel and exploration culture in Italy. Lots of Italians like to travel, and then they're also kissing each other on the cheek and stuff like that. So that's probably how it spread quicker in Italy, but you could see the death toll is 827. I heard it's about to peak 1,000. Recovered 1,045. Active is 10,590, and you see 12,462 confirmed. Here you have France is 2,281, death is 48, recovered is 12. United Kingdom, you have 456 confirmed. Ireland is 43. So Europe in general is doing worse. Germany is really bad too, 2,078 in Germany. Then you have the Netherlands, 503 confirmed. Like Europe in general is doing way worse. Belgium, so you can see around Brussels, it's problematic. You have a confirmed total of 314. And then here you could look at Saudi Arabia. So Saudi Arabia confirmed 45, recovered 1, active 44. You can look at Iran, confirmed in Iran. Iran is actually extremely bad, like one of the worst areas, but 10,075 confirmed. Death list is 429, recovered is 2,959, and active is 6,687. Here you look at Serbia, Romania, we already looked at Italy. Switzerland is really bad as well. Yeah, Greece is not great, but something that'd be interesting is let's look at here. So Iceland is 103. Let's keep going. So let's see here. Let's look at Australia. Australia is has some problematic areas. Australia is not as bad as some others. Obviously, China, you're gonna have it's gonna be really bad in China because this is the origin is in Wuhan, but India you could see. So it is, in terms of like pandemic, it have reached mostly globally at this point, but it's still extremely statistically unlikely, especially if you compare the total confirmed to like the rest of the world population. There's also a high recovery rate, and I think those numbers are, in terms of actual worries that you have when you're looking at the number of US cases versus the actual probability of getting it, you're looking at like probably around a 1 in 250,000 or so chance of getting it. And in terms of like, in comparison to like the rest of the global population, those chances are pretty low. And then you also have to look at like the chances of death without looking at the skewed data. Some people are saying 2 to 4%. The whole total deaths versus total confirmed percentage is not an accurate measure, given we don't have all the data yet, especially with like CDC data, as well as like the actual logarithmic rate in terms of recovery. But I presume there's going to be like in terms of actual estimate, like a 2% fatality rate. So you're looking at 1 in 250,000 chance of getting it, and then 1 or 250,000 or so, like from what I'm guessing, and then you have a 2% chance of death from that. So you're looking at like a 1 in 12.5 million chance of dying in the US from the coronavirus thus far, from my statistical estimate. So this is why I like looking at the confirmed data, because the coronavirus is still an important pandemic to look at, but it shows like the pandemic been overhyped, and it kind of makes us wonder like how would we actually react to like a full-on global pandemic in comparison to something that's just as small in numbers as the coronavirus, which, even though it's going to expand probably a lot more than this, it makes us wonder like how would the world actually be prepared for like an actual pandemic.